Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to do a first impression let's play review of a game called Creatures of Ava. And as you can hear or not hear, the game doesn't have music, or at least it had music, but for some reason the music is now gone. So that's the very first bug that we encounter in the game, and we haven't even really started with the game. So the very first bug is the fact that the music just stops after a while. Like, I've had the game open now for maybe 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, just while checking out the different settings and stuff in the game, and the music simply stopped. So there's still sound, but the music stopped. So I don't know if the developers forgot to set the sound file, the music file, on loop, or what it is, but the game had music. Now it doesn't have music. I'm sure if I restart the game that the game will have music again until it stops again, but why would I want to do that? Why would I want to make the game look good? So this is how the game is currently, and obviously I can only evaluate the game based on how it is currently. So, and anyway, that's the first bug that we encounter, but I am playing the full release of the game today. The game releases in several days, but the developers were nice enough to send me a key for the game with the full build of the game, the 1.0 build of the game. So thanks a lot to the developers for sending me early access of the game, even though the game it's not early access, it's going to be a full release game. So anyway, the game is Creatures of Ava. I don't know the price. The developers haven't made a price public yet. So in the cases like today where I don't know the price of the game, I'm just really going to have to evaluate the game based on what I think I would pay for the game. So if the game is very good, then I will say that I will pay $30 or $40 or $50 for the game. But if the game is very bad, then I probably won't recommend the game at all. Or I will say, okay, I might pay $5 or $10 for the game. And yeah, as always, I'm going to be playing the game for an hour or more until I am satisfied that I can give you my opinion on the game. If you are in a hurry and you don't want to watch the full 1 hour or more of the video today, then you can simply skip to the last 10 minutes or so of the video. I will put the timestamp in the description below, and you can simply skip to the timestamp if you only want to hear what my final thoughts and my final decision on the game is. But otherwise, if you're not in a hurry, you can just stay tuned, and I will be playing through the game today, and I will be giving you my running commentary as I play through the game, and I will be telling you what I think is good and bad about the game as I play through the game today. So let's jump into the settings. The settings actually are pretty bloody good. They don't allow you to change the resolution of the game, but they have resolution scaling. So in lieu of them not allowing you to change the resolution, at least you can change the resolution scaling. It's not the same as being able to change the resolution. Obviously, I would like to be able to change the resolution, but it's a fair compromise since they allow you to change the resolution scaling. So my native desktop resolution is 4K resolution, which I'm then downscaling to around 2K resolution. So the game is running at 2K resolution, and I am recording at 2K resolution. One interesting thing with the upscaling, I actually took a couple of screenshots here so that you guys can see that the game has a couple different upscaling technologies. I took some screenshots, 4 different screenshots. So this is native resolution right here. And then this is TSR, and this is FSR 3, and this is DLSS 3.7. So we can see the differences between native. You can see there, like, native is supposed to look the best. Native is native. I mean, it speaks for itself. Native is 2K resolution. And yet, in my opinion, TSR actually looks better than native. And one thing that I also noticed is that the game actually draws more power and uses more graphical processing power on the upscaling technologies than what it does on native. On native, my GPU is pulling 250 watts of power usage, 250 watts. And yet when I go onto TSR, FSR, or DLSS, it pulls 290. So what I think, and this is not good, what I think is that the developers made it so that when you use any of these upscaling technologies, it actually disables the resolution scaling, because it doesn't show that. Like, I can go from native, like right now we are on native, and then I can put on the scaling, and you can see there, like, it immediately actually knocks down the resolution scaling to 66%. And then we go back over there, and then I move it back to 71 or 72, and then I go up to the upscaling method again, and it knocks it down to 66 again. And then after that, you can change it, like you can change the resolution scaling, but it does not make sense that the game draws more power on upscaling. Like, when you're upscaling, I can actually show you guys here so that you can see that I'm not just talking bullshit. Let me show you guys over here. And then let's just make it a little bit bigger so that you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. So here you can see native. We're running native, all the way. 260 watts of power usage. 264, 260, 261, all the way. And then when I activate the upscaling, it goes to 290. You can see that 295, 308 watts of power usage. So the game literally uses more power and more GPU usage. You can see there at the top as well. When I switched over to the FSR, or the TSR at least, yeah, there's a huge spike in GPU usage. So it uses more power and more GPU usage when you use upscaling, which, like, the entire fucking point of upscaling is to use less power, because you're using upscaling technology to make the image look native, but it's not actually native. And yet in this game, for some reason, when you activate any of the upscaling technologies, this isn't true. This cannot be true, this resolution scaling, because the game actually looks better. Like, literally, I can put it up to 73. Let's be generous and put it up to 74. And then look over here. And then when I switch, it literally looks better. And I mean, I showed you guys in the screenshot as well. It looks better on the upscaling. So that does not make sense. And it draws more power. It draws about, I would say, 15% more power and 15% more GPU usage as well when you activate the upscaling technology, which just does not make sense. You're supposed to see a dramatic reduction in power usage and sometimes as well GPU usage when you are using upscaling technology. So what I think is that this doesn't actually have any basis in the reality when you activate the upscaling technology, because it just doesn't make sense that the game draws more power and more GPU usage when you activate upscaling. I've never seen a game where that is the case, and I've played a lot of games with different upscaling technologies. So in my opinion, the upscaling technology implementation in this game is broken. It's not doing what it should be doing. There's something strange going on with the upscaling technology. So, as well as I showed you guys over here, the that's the LSA. So this is native. So if I jump between native and TSR, in my opinion, the game looks slightly better on TSR. It just, like, everything looks more crisp. And even though that would be the case because the game is drawing more power, literally on TSR, the game draws around 15% more power and GPU usage than what it does on native. So you would expect more power draw means the game would look better. And it does, in my opinion. So you can see there native looks very blurry. Like native looks quite blurry, especially if you look over here. And then on TSR, it looks not blurry. So it's really strange that upscaling the game makes it look better than native. So there's either something wrong with the native scaling, the native resolution scaling, or there's something wrong with the upscaling, the TSR, the FSR, and the DLSS. So anyway, this is TSR, and then you can see there when I jump between TSR and FSR, it's difficult to see a real difference between those two. Both look pretty good. I don't like, there's small coloration differences, but overall, I think TSR still looks a little bit better. I still think that looks better. And then with FSR versus DLSS, you can see there when I jump between DLSS and FSR. On this one, in my opinion, DLSS looks not as good. And you can see there's definitely some strange rendering with the sky over here becoming way more white as well. Otherwise than that, everything looks basically the same. But I just think FSR has more definition, especially on the grass down here. There's a lot more definition on the grass and then also on the trees as well. So probably DLSS looks the worst in my opinion. FSR looks pretty good. And then TSR in my opinion looks the best. And like I said, it's really strange that TSR looks better than native. It's just weird. I mean, like I said, the game draws more power when you run it on TSR versus native. So it would stand to reason that the game looks better on TSR, but still, it's strange that that is the case, because as I've already explained, it goes directly contrary to what upscaling is supposed to do. Upscaling is supposed to take a low resolution image and make it look high resolution, close to native resolution. But as you can see here, the game is drawing significantly more power. Like here we were on native, 250 watts of power usage. Now we are at 300 watts, 305 watts, 310 watts, which is actually the maximum amount that my graphics card can deliver. So we are maxing out my graphics card by putting it on TSR. And I mean, that's a big difference between 250 watts of power usage and 310 watts of power usage. That's 60 watts of additional power usage, which is a lot. That is a lot. And then also with GPU usage, you can see here 66%, 65, 66, and then all of a sudden we go up to 85. So that's an additional 20% of GPU usage. So it's about, how much is that? It's about 20% more power usage and 20% more GPU usage when you run the game on upscaling, which is really strange. It really should not be like that. Let's just turn it down slightly. How much does that impact it? Not a lot. I'm just looking at my power again. So yeah, I think we will run the game like this because TSR for some fucking reason looks better than native resolution. And yeah, so it's strange. It's strange that the upscaling functions this way. So the developers either did something strange with the upscaling or they did something strange with the resolution scaling, because it just does not make sense. So anyway, what I would have wanted was for this to work correctly, and then also for us to actually be able to select our resolution. That would have also been nice. Otherwise than that, we're running everything on Epic, and then Lumen enable the setting has a heavy performance cost. What does it actually do? Is it just me, or does the game actually look better with Lumen off? The game looks more natural with Lumen off, actually. Literally, it looks more natural. Like with Lumen on, it looks a little bit washed out. Like if you look over here, you look over here to the left, it looks washed out with Lumen on. So I think we're gonna leave Lumen off. Like honestly, it does not add to the graphical fidelity, in my opinion. So anyway, music, all of that stuff is 100%, even though the music is not playing currently. Another issue which I have is that this advertising, that's the only thing I can really call it, this advertising over here is on by default. And I don't like that. I don't like being advertised in a game where the player is already paying whatever, $30, $40. So it's really shitty. You can see here that they're advertising the Thaumaturge, which I have done a review on. They're advertising Frostpunk, Indica, various games, and I just don't like being advertised to in a game. They do give you the option to turn it off over here. They call it a news feed. They should really call it fucking in-game advertising. So they do allow you to turn it off, but in my opinion, it shouldn't be on by default. Or when you start up the game, they should give you a little dialog box where they ask you whether or not you want the news feed to be on. That is better than simply having the advertising in the game on by default. So yeah, yeah, pretty much like those are the only issues that I have so far. Resolution not being selectable, and then there's definitely either something wrong with the upscaling technology in the game, the implementation of the upscaling, or there's the resolution scaling does not function correctly. Those are the only two options, the only two issues that I see that are bad currently. There's no colorblind accessibility, which you would expect to find in a game as colorful as this. The game is very colorful, and in very colorful games, having not having colorblind accessibility is bad, because in a very colorful game, people who have color deficient vision are going to have an issue. In a game where there's not such a huge contrast between colors, they won't really have an issue. If you think about something like Counter-Strike, for instance, it's all very brown and very gray in any way, so you won't really have an issue. But in a game like this, where it's very colorful, the colorblind accessibility option is really quite crucial, and unfortunately these developers don't have any colorblind options. So yeah, anyway, with that being said, we can pretty much jump into the game. So difficulty, standard difficulty set by the game developers, that doesn't tell me anything. Story, very reduced combat difficulty to enjoy the story of Creatures of Ava, that doesn't tell me anything. And then hard, increased combat difficulty where creatures deal more damage, that doesn't tell me anything. So this is an issue which unfortunately a lot of developers stick their foot into. When you say more damage, or when you say a reduced combat difficulty, you must fucking say how much more damage, how much reduced combat difficulty. Why is the combat difficulty reduced? Did you make the enemies stupider? Did you make the enemies deal less damage? Did you reduce the health of the enemies? Why the fuck can't you just say health reduced by 50%, damage reduced by 50%, intelligence reduced by 99%? Like, why can't you just say it? Why is it so fucking difficult to just give the player the information that they need to have? So none of these options provide any information that you can really use to determine whether or not a difficulty setting is appropriate for you. On hard difficulty, the enemies might deal 9 trillion% more damage, or they might only deal 5% more damage. But the fact that the developers don't tell you how much more damage is really fucking stupid. So anyway, we're gonna play on normal. I can't make a decision regarding story or hard difficulty because the developers don't give you any information. So we're just gonna play it on normal.
Oh, it's beautiful. It used to be.
Let's just continue with the rescue brief.
Wait, something's wrong. Vic? Vic! Bring Grandpa!
This craft reminds me of the Saiyan, the Super Saiyan capsule that Goku landed in and Vegeta landed in. So why couldn't she open the door? Is that sound really necessary?
Tabitha? Are you there?
Okay, first thing we're gonna do is turn off subtitles. So we landed in the Super Saiyan capsule. There's an invisible wall stopping me from moving any closer.
That's better. Tabitha, I'm here. I'm alive. But our field equipment it's... Tabitha? Do you read? Nothing. Maybe if I get some height.
Okay, so no tutorial for mouse movement so far, no tutorial for keyboard movement either. Why is it just black down there? It's like super, super black.
Hey, wait! It's a whole pack! I can't miss this chance.
Yeah, throw your Pokeball. Pokeball go! Taking photos with your camera unlocks important information about creatures and other characters. Press 4 to equip the camera. And then zoom in and out and left click to take a photo. Okay, so that's the very first tutorial that we got so far.
Oh, photo shoot time!
What did you just say?
What was that? And more importantly, how big is it?
Well, it sounds pretty big. Okay, another invisible wall. Another invisible wall. Another invisible wall. Game developers love invisible walls so far. I thought this was supposed to be a game about exploration. Okay, I guess we don't grab onto shit. Maybe they wanted you to fall because there's a bunch of healing stuff here. Because my character just refused to grab onto anything there.
What a beautiful creature.
That one looks really dopey. Like he looks really stupid. I have to say the game is really boring so far. I hope it improves pretty soon. There's no exploration or anything like that. Invisible walls all over the fucking place. Hey, why can't I take a photo? That's a big boy. The cinematics also seem very lazy. Like the in-game cinematic. The cinematic at the beginning, the anime cinematic, that one was fine, but the in-game cinematics seem weak.
Need some help? Huh?
Okay, and the game also doesn't have voice acting. That sucks. Okay, well, if the developers don't want to voice the stuff, the story, then I don't really care about the story. If the developers don't care enough to make the story listenable, then I don't care. Find a way out of the temple.
That's the infection.
What infection?
Do not convey the smell.
How can you say the infection when we haven't been provided any information regarding it so far? So how can you say the infection as if the player is supposed to already know about it? Can I like a wall run or something like that? Nope.
Whoa, this thing still works?
What did you say? It sounded like the audio got cut off like halfway through.
What is this?
Oh.
Hmm.
The Nafitar allows you to cleanse the withering. Use it to remove the wither blossom blocking the way. Hold left click to cast the connection ring. While the beam is active, press middle mouse button to toggle the automatic camera. What the fuck is the Nafitar? Is it the stick? Okay, I guess it's the stick. So left click and then, yeah, that's fine. Don't need to do anything else.
It works. Keep going.
Hey, Mr. Archaeologist? You're gonna want to see this.
Through stone we teach.
What?
The ancient Ataris built these all over Ava. It's a sage stone. See the inscriptions? Through stone we teach.
Is there a language you don't speak?
You don't know much about us now, do you? Put the Nafitar into that slot. Go on, trust me.
The voice dialogue is really not high quality.
There it is, an Antares mosaic. What?
It's fractured.
Maybe we can...
Why do the dialogue keep cutting off? That's like the third time that dialogue has cut off. Like, I can totally understand why the developers chose to not put the dialogue into the game,
Pieces together.
like during the text sections, because holy hell, the dialogue is not good. So I can understand why they chose to do that. Honestly, they should have just not added any dialogue to the game, because the dialogue that they did add to the game is really bad so far. Like, really, really bad. Okay, so are we gonna get a tutorial or anything like that? Like, I can move it with WASD,
Pieces together.
but I can't move it with my mouse. You have to move it with WASD. And then
That's it. Keep working on it.
left click to change to the next piece. Rotate. Like, this should really have a fucking tutorial. I mean, I understand it because I have a brain. I have a functioning brain, but there are so many gamers who do not, so you need a fucking tutorial.
Looks like a group of those Antares people you love so much, but do you know what's happening here?
It's a funeral. The Antares buried their loved ones in the soil. But for each body, they uprooted a tree. Then they made these trees float above the grave as a marker.
You're saying their gravestones were floating trees?
Are you surprised? You humans have your magic, the Antares had theirs. And I think we just got some of it.
Ugh, the voice acting is terrible. Ushun levitates withered creatures from the ground for some time, making them unable to move or attack. It can also levitate certain objects in the environment. To cast a power, you need to be connected to a withered entity. Press left click to connect, press Q to cast the power while connected to the entity. What the fuck is Ushun? You can't just throw out words like Ushun without explaining what it
On
is.
the sage stone, they use the word ushun, which in your language would be levitate. So, strong legs. Try to ushun. Try to levitate something with the Nafitar.
Okay, there we go. Finally, you explained.
The effect is temporary. Still, this new ability might help us find a way out.
I don't know why they couldn't just keep levitate as levitate. Why do they need to complicate things by calling levitate Ushun when they in any way refer to it as levitate? What the fuck? And the things heal themselves, which I think is completely unnecessary.
That crash down there. It's in pain.
It is trapped by withering. Soon it will be a withered one. Crazed, aggressive. Perhaps we should... Human!
So cute, actually. Dash and jump to remain mobile during dangerous encounters. These cost stamina. Okay. Alt is dash, space is jump.
Hey, I'm doing this for you.
Okay. Let's test the death system, I guess. Okay, so when you die, what happens? You get reset to the previous checkpoint?
Crash down there. It's in pain.
Yeah, okay. So when you die, you get reset to the previous checkpoint. But you then have full health again, so that's good. You don't actually get reset to the previous checkpoint.
I'm doing this for you.
You actually get full health. Weathered entities that collide with the beam are automatically chained into the absorption. I have no idea what that means.
Easy.
What are you doing, human?
These creatures are why I'm here.
You're here to save... the Kraj?
I told you, I'm here to save...
Wow. This dialogue is terrible.
Well, well. Looks like we found our way out of here. So, Mr. Archaeologist, what do they call you?
Let's see. In your tongue, my name is...
What is it in Nom?
Oh, Mimar. I'm Mimar.
Can you hear me? Vic?
Tabitha!
Vic, I'm tracking your PDA, but I can't hear you. Your microphone.
Damn radio? She's right.
Vic, I uploaded coordinates to your map. Stick to the plan. Go to the old Alice Prime base and reactivate the teleporter there.
Right. Stick to the plan.
God, I hope she's hearing me. Get that old teleporter working, Vic.
Don't you just love it when they use the Lord's name in vain unnecessarily? Like, was it really necessary to say that there? Just unnecessary. Like, why? It doesn't add anything to the game. It's just gonna piss people off. Okay, so I assume we are now in the actual game. We're done with the tutorial section, even though the fucking tutorial section was so threadbare. I mean, they didn't even cover movement. But anyway, we did learn a couple of things. Finally, we can loot stuff. We literally couldn't loot a single thing except these potions up until now. And we are 50 minutes into the game. Well, 40 minutes without my babbling. Oh, there's a lot of lag in the distance. I know developers often do that to reduce the load on the graphics engine. They reduce the animation quality, I guess I can say, of objects in the distance. But yeah, that's really brutal. Like, you can clearly see that the FPS or the rendering frames per second, whatever, is massively reduced on stuff in the distance. Okay, invisible wall. Seriously. Fucking invisible walls. Where am I supposed to go then? Like, there isn't a tracker or nothing. Like, you would expect a tracker. There's no tracker in the game. Again, invisible wall. Okay, where the fuck am I supposed to go? Nothing on the map. So where am I supposed to go? Invisible wall. Okay, so clearly I'm not supposed to go over there. Where the fuck? Seriously. How can I go past here now all of a sudden? When I literally just couldn't. Why is there fucking hell? This is supposed to be an open world game, isn't it? And yet there's fucking more invisible walls than anything. So much for being an open world game, I guess. Yeah, of course, another invisible wall. I can't even loot that shit over there. They should call this game Invisible Wall the Game. Or Invisible Wall Simulator. Why do they sound like Sims? Now there's a tracker. You see, that is what you're supposed to have. A fucking tracker. Previously there wasn't a tracker. So are we finally in the open world? I still don't really understand the point of the game, to be honest. Q. I already forgot what the key is.
Tab! Oh!
That's a very long hug. So I'm assuming we can't teleport anywhere yet.
The infection, it's on you. You need help. Calm down.
Fucking hell.
Calm down.
Okay, apparently you can't really jump while you have them selected like that. Okay, and what do you get for that? Okay, so you can pet them. What does that do? Does it actually do anything? Okay, so I guess that doesn't do anything. So why would you even want to do combat in the game, like with them, if you don't get anything? Like, what's the point? I just fucking take damage and lose health. And I don't get anything out of it. Seriously, you can't jump, you can't run, nothing like that in the water. You just move so fucking slowly. Can't sprint.
There's always something behind the waterfall.
Yes, there is actually.
A little hangout spot. Dr. Michael Dupuy. He used to come here to chill out.
Like, I'm seriously not understanding the point of the game. Like, you run around, you take photos. You can pet the animals, but that doesn't do anything. You can cure the corruption.
Hey, I'm doing this for you.
What the fuck? Why did you attack me? That's bullshit. They're not even corrupted. Why did they attack me? Those over there are corrupted. Like, you don't get anything when you cure the corruption. Don't get anything when you pet them. There's no health regeneration in the game. I don't like that either. Haha, now you're fucked. Yeah, you are screwed. You can't do anything. You suck balls. You and your friend. Like, look at that. You don't get anything for curing them. I don't understand the point of combat. You just stand here and you hold left click for 25 seconds or whatever, and you don't get anything. Seriously, what is the point? Press 3 to play the flute. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it does. Find Sheb T the Shepherd. Okay, so that doesn't do shit. I'm just collecting stuff and I have no idea what to do with it. Shepty the Shepherd. Okay, so the grabbing system doesn't even function correctly in the game. That's super fantastic.
Doesn't seem to work. Catch Septi's attention. Huh. Huh.
Tame wild creatures by imitating the sounds they make with your flute. Getting too close to the creatures will scare them. The creature is singing. Creature is waiting for you to repeat its song. Creature didn't understand you. Huh? Okay. Lead the Ura to safety.
First, play the Song of Grass. Concentrate. Hear Ava. Feel Ava. See Ava. As the creatures see Ava.
What am I supposed to do? The creatures of Ava can be used to overcome various obstacles. Each creature has its own speciality. Try using the Ura to break the nearby fungi. Press left click in front of the sap barrier to break it.
I'm controlling this creature.
No! The Aura controls itself. You only feel its sense of being as your own, but we of Ava...
Okay, once again another interrupted dialogue.
Hey, Tom. Things are finally looking up.
Anam agreed to corral creatures for us.
Better. They taught me to do it myself. With music.
What?
I'm a regular Pied Piper now. An artiste.
You're crazy is what you are. But look, if it works, then whatever. I've dispatched the first set of rescue bots. Try leading some creatures into the bot's capture perimeter. A test, to see if they're working. You know how cheap these things are.
Okay, where am I supposed to go? Once again, there's not a quest indicator anywhere. In Ava, you will find sensors in places that allow you to admire the natural beauty. Play flute in them to earn research points.
I can feel the calm of this place.
How the hell do I get down there? You will find Ava's creatures in 3 different states: friendly, wild, and infected. Friendly creatures trust you, will let you pet them, and follow you if you play the flute. Petting doesn't do shit, by the way. Wild creatures may run away and attack you. You must tame them with a flute to make them friendly. Infected creatures will attack you. You must remove their infection to make them friendly. You can shepherd friendly creatures by pressing 3.
Oh, come on. I want to help you.
Okay, I thought you were friendly, but evidently not. This saving system is really dog shit. Did you seriously... Did these just respawn, or did you seriously put me back all the way over here? How can I even check my inventory? Okay, so... 23, okay. I want to check something. So currently I have 24, 6, 13. 24, 6, 13. Okay, so you can't fall yourself to death. Come on, attack me. Attack me, bastards. Why do you guys not want to attack me? This other small little guy attacked me, but you guys don't want to attack me.
Calm down. Calm down.
Okay, so you lose everything since your previous checkpoint when you die. That's really shitty. So after you die, you have to redo everything. Literally everything that you looted, everything that you did. If you tamed any creatures, if you captured any creatures, if you disinfected any creatures, literally anything that you do until your previous checkpoint is lost. You simply lose all of that progress. So yeah, you're gonna lose many minutes of progress at a time when you die due to the shitty save system. So yeah, I don't need to play the game anymore. I've made my mind up about the game. I don't get the point of the game. It's really boring. I honestly can say that during the past hour and 10 minutes of actually playing the game, I haven't had a single minute of fun in the game. It's just like, I don't understand. You don't get anything for disinfecting enemies. You don't get anything for petting enemies. Like the exploration is like the grabbing in the game doesn't even function correctly. There's invisible walls all over the fucking place. The voice acting is abysmally terrible, like legitimately terrible. It would have been better if they just didn't put any voice acting into the game, to be honest. I would rather read text than listen to terrible voice dialogue. The voice dialogue cuts off a lot of times. I think probably 5 times now already that the voice dialogue has just randomly cut off. So yeah, as I said already at the beginning, you can't select your resolution, the resolution scaling or the upscaling that they implemented into the game. Either one of those two don't function correctly. They don't function the way that they should function. And I just don't get the point of the game. Like, you run around and you disinfect enemies, and then they become passive, and then like what happens after that? You stand there for 25 seconds holding your left click mouse button to disinfect them. Like, I don't know, the game just seems pointless. Honestly, all that this game makes me want to do is play a game like Palworld, where you can actually do something with the creatures. You can actually gain experience. You actually gain experience when fighting the creatures and interacting with the creatures. In this game, you don't even get experience when interacting with the creatures, petting the creatures, disinfecting the creatures. You don't get any experience, you don't get any loot, you don't get fuck all. So honestly, I don't know, the game just seems pointless. I don't see why anyone in their right mind would play this game over a game like Palworld or any of the other games on the market which are open world creature collector type games, you know, like Pokemon or anything like that, like Pokemon Arceus or something like that. Honestly, I would rather play Pokemon Arceus or Palworld than this by a country fucking mile. So like I said at the beginning, I don't know what the price of this game is yet. The developers sent me code so that I can play the game in advance of the release on Steam. But honestly, I wouldn't pay anything for this game. This game is probably gonna be, I don't know, $25, maybe $30. Asking anything more than that would be delusional, especially since that's what Palworld costs. But I wouldn't pay anything for this game. Honestly, I'm just gonna uninstall the game after this because I wouldn't pay anything for it. Like I said, all this game makes me want to do is play a game like Palworld or Pokemon Arceus or anything like that. That's literally all this game makes me want to do. So yeah, I can't recommend the game. I don't see the point of the game. I think the game is just quite pointless. If they actually allowed you to tame the monsters, to tame the I mean, I'm calling them monsters, but the animals, you tame the animals, ride the animals, collect the animals, teach the animals different moves, perhaps gain some experience, you know, almost like Pokemon, you know, if you could teach the different animals different moves and fight with the animals, that kind of stuff, that would make sense. But this shit right here just doesn't make any sense, and it's extremely boring. It's just like really, really boring. Yeah, the world also seems, I don't know, it's colorful, Like, the world is colorful, but it doesn't seem like wow, you know? Like, when you play an open world game, you're supposed to be hit with a sense of wonder and excitement for what you're going to uncover and find in the world, what you're gonna discover in the world. And with this game, I have zero wonder and I have zero excitement for what the world holds. Like, when I first started playing Palworld or Enshrouded or any of those games, like, from the very start, when you unlock the open world portion of the game, you're just like, wow, I want to go over there, I want to go over there, I want to go over there. And this game just doesn't have any of that. I have zero excitement for this world. So yeah, I was looking forward to the game. I didn't really know what to expect with this game, because, like, I just really looked at the Steam screenshots of the game. It seemed cool. I thought that I would be able to collect creatures and that kind of stuff, you know, like you can do maybe in, like, Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary is a very good example of what this game should have been. But yeah, this game is just not good. So yeah, I'm just gonna uninstall the game after this. Honestly, I would rather spend my time playing a good game like Palworld or any of those types of games. So yeah, guys, this honestly is one to avoid in my opinion. But yeah, as always, if you would like to enable me to do more reviews, to purchase more games, to do more reviews for you guys, then your support on patreon.com/LFP would be very much appreciated. It allows me to purchase more games and do more reviews for you guys in the cases where the developers do not send me codes. And I receive a lot of codes, but there's a lot of games that I do not receive codes for, and I rely on my Patreon supporters to fund the games that I then purchase. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.